All right, welcome. We are figuring out this equation. Our goal is to write an equation based on this given XY table. All right, so our end result is that we're going to be writing this equation. So we're going to write it out first. Oh, no, hold on. There's like a tab that's in the way. All right, so we're going to write this out. So it's f of x, which again is another way to say y equals, and then something for a times something for b to the power of x. All right, so I'm just color coding because, you know, we love color coding. We love to stay organized in math. So just like with y equals mx plus b for linear equations, same idea for exponential, except this is our formula, a times b to the power of x. All right, so all we're plugging in is an a and a b. All right, so what is a? A is our very first term in like our sequence that they're giving us, right? Like for like our geometric sequence, but here it's an exponential function, so a little different. We're talking about specifically the y-intercept. So remember like on a line y-intercept, so like this is like x and y. Or does anyone remember y-intercept from unit 1? Remember y-intercept? Does anyone remember like what that was, or like as like a coordinate maybe, what it was? Any information that comes to mind, I'll go ahead and pause the video while you guys are thinking. Answer in the room chat or private message what comes to mind, and I'll pause. All right, I'm not sure what we said, but y-intercept is always when x equals 0. So remember, if we want the y-intercept, we set x equal to 0 and solve. This was also like bananas are yellow, right, from unit 1. So x equals 0. So basically, we're looking at our table and we're trying to find when x equals 0. And there it is. Boom, down there. When x is 0, y is 1. So we write 1. And we're halfway through the problem already, right? I know it seems intimidating. We got this though. Just when x is 0, what is y? Plug it in. Boom. Now for b. B is talking about our rate of growth, our multiplication pattern. How are we going from one number to the next? But remember, we are specifically looking at what? Room chat. Y or x value? Which one? Or x or y? Remember, f of x is another way to say y. X or y, which value are we looking at when we're making those bunny hops and we're trying to figure out the multiplication pattern? Go ahead and answer in the room chat. I will pause the video and read off your answers. All right, so we've got our answers. Let me undo that. Okay. Oh yeah, move this around. So our multiplication pattern, we are specifically looking at the y values, and we want to know what's going on with those y values, what's happening there. All right, how are we making these jumps from one number to the next? Last class, I mentioned we are taking like that second number divided by the first number. All right, so we take the second y value, which is 16, divided by the first, which is 64, and then we simplify. The reason we're doing this, we can see it's decreasing, it's dropping down. But remember, for exponential functions, we are always multiplying by b. So even if it's like we're dividing, it's going down, we have to have a multiplication sign. We can't change it to be like, oh, now it's like an addition sign, or now it's a division sign. So it has to be multiplying. So the way that we show we're dividing is by multiplying with a fraction. So we need to figure out what that fraction is. That's why we're doing the second term divided by the first. And we'll see once we simplify. 16 and 64, 4 goes into both. That's going to be 4 and blah. I want to say 12, but I'm going to double check. 64 divided by 4. 16. This is why we check. I was going to say 12. All right, 16. We can take out another 4, and that would give us 1/4, right? So basically, we're dividing by 4 each time. We saw that from our pattern, but in order to write that, we have to write it as a fraction, 1/4. All right, and we'll write that in. 1/4. And that's it. This is our formula, our equation. If you want to add this to your notes, go ahead and click on your notes, click on camera, give me a reaction. I'll pause the video and then we'll go to the next one. All right, so I'm guessing it's in our notes. I'm gonna move on. Moving on. All right, next problem. Okay, so now what about if we're given a graph? And you will see something very similar on your exam, cough, cough, next week for your TGA. So I want to make sure we're covering all bases. How to write an exponential function given a graph or given a XY table. All right, so looking at this, we want to know what is the equation for this graph. So again, it's going to be f of x equals something times something to the power of x. That was great placement for our polar bear. All right, so it's going to be a and then our b. Just color coding, keeping it organized. How would we find this? Okay. The a value is super easy, super simple on a graph because it's our y-intercept. So we see the y-axis. We're seeing where is that graph intercepting, crossing over the y-axis, and it's going to be here at 4. So 4. All right, now the trickier part for finding the multiplication pattern, we could write this as like a little XY table. That's an option, right? So the first term, when x was 0, y is 4. When x is 1, y is 2. And then you can do that same thing. We can take the second term, second y value, divided by the first 2/4. We want to simplify, and we'll get 1/2 is the multiplication pattern, right? If we were also asked to describe this kind of graph, we would say it's decay. It's decreasing. It's a decay exponential function because it's dropping down. It's decaying over time, very rapidly over time. All right. We'll add this to our notes as well, and then you guys will try one on your own, and then just let me know. I'll do the thumbs up, thumbs sideways, thumbs down poll. How are we doing? I know I feel like we're going a little quick on this. If you have any questions, please ask. Don't wait, especially because our exam's coming up. Please let me know. Reach out. You can message me now if you have a question. You want me to re-explain something, or just let me know after class, email, text. All right.